Hey guys, and welcome to the Nordic Championship Series. We're here live in the studio from Midsommarkransen, outside Stockholm. I'm Tenshi, and joining me here today is my good friend William. First time in the studio here, man.
Yeah, first time commentating anything really big, actually.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Pretty nervous, but I think I'll manage.
Yeah, man, it's a good kind of nervous, you know. I think, like for me, looking back on my very first event as well, I was really nervous, man. Like, so
understandably, I think I feel the same right now.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it's a good thing to have it with you because it means that you're a little bit on edge. Like, you don't get very lax in your seat.
Yeah, and we're actually like really old friends as well.
Yeah, that's an important part. Like, I specifically, I asked William if he wanted to do this with me, and he was like, "Yeah, man." And one of those like big parts of it is because William and I go way back in Starcraft, of course. That's sort of how we met. We can talk about that later, though. But I want to welcome all of you guys, of course, into the first round of the Nordic Championship. It is, of course, for Starcraft 2, my one true love. And, you know, it's going to be really exciting, man. It's all about finding out who is the best player in all of the Nordic countries. Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited, especially for our lineup today.
Oh, yeah, talking about that, that's actually a really good point. Guys, we can take a look at that. The full list of players, as you can see right now: Winter, Namshar, SortOf, Helton, Snoot, Scythe, Kebab King, Lillikani, Spacey, Maisie, Serral, Zugliang, and Poo-Poo. Now, obviously, right off the bat, a couple of guys stand out to me: Snoot, SortOf, Namshar, Serral, yeah, and Zugliang. Now, out of all of these guys, you can see people, we have a ton of Zugs.
Yeah. And
out of all of these guys, Serral right now. I want to talk about this guy.
Yeah, understandably.
He is on fire, man. He made it to the finals of WCS Jönköping just now recently, where he lost to Neeb, who, I mean, he is definitely...
He played amazingly.
Yeah, Neeb right now, I would say, is probably the best foreigner.
I would actually agree there.
Yeah, like because like his results, guys, in the past like 8 months have been absolutely insane. Winning Casper Cup, making some deep runs, winning Austin, and then WCS Jönköping as well. So...
I would actually call Serral as the best foreign Zerg.
Yeah, I definitely, I think that one for me is always like on rotation. But right now, I would agree with you. Serral's definitely probably the best foreign Zerg out there.
Snoot is one of them too.
Snoot
and
is
we
up
have
there
him
as well.
Here today as well.
Yeah. So like all the best talent, basically, guys out of the Nordic countries are going to be participating here. Now, to take a look at today's games, we can actually go over to that one, guys. As you can see, SortOf is going to face off against Serral. That one is going to be an excellent ZVZ. Snoot versus Lillikani. That's actually a re-game of the last kickoff event that we had of last year, where Snoot played versus Lillikani, and then Lillikani versus SortOf. So a bit of a mixed bag here, guys. Bunch of ZVZs though primarily, which I think is a good thing because you play Zerg. So this is actually a really good sort of entry into casting, you know.
Since I play Zerg, I actually like to watch them a lot more as well.
Yeah.
Do you like watching Protoss more than others?
I used to be that way, but I've sort of gravitated a little bit to more that I'm really into like TVZ. I think they make for some really sick games, and we are actually going to get
TVZ
to one of those.
is the most symbolic matchup of Starcraft.
Yeah, we're going to get two of those actually, TVZs, Snoot Lillikani and then SortOf Lillikani. Yeah. But guys, we are actually ready to jump right into the first game. That is going to be sick as hell, so let's get right to it. Okay, actually, I was a little too quick there. I was a little too excited, but you know what we can do? We can take this time to, of course,
thank our sponsors.
Exactly, show some love to our sponsors. Estrella right here, guys, of course. SanDisk and Comhem for making all of this possible, because without them, we wouldn't be able to put this together.
No.
So lots of love to you guys, and obviously, you know, if you enjoy yourself a decent snack, get some of these, sit down, watch some Starcraft.
I think a lot of people eat them while they're watching today.
Yeah, I hope so, guys. If not, when because we're gonna have like a 10-15 minute break between each series, you'll have some time to run down to your nearest ICA, pick up a bag. You know, it's we can't actually eat these while we're live.
Yeah, that's true.
But
sadly,
yeah, I'm
feeling it.
Yeah, wait, are these? That's the new ones that they've made.
Oh, our game started.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried these. So, anyway, finally the game is live here, William. And with our first player down here in the bottom right, on Ascension to Aya, it is going to be the Red Zerg. Hailing from Finland, it is none other than Serral. And his opponent in the top left, in the blue, our Swedish representative here today, it is none other than SortOf. that clan icon, by the way, that's Zanster.
Oh.
from, I believe, the latest event.
I really didn't know that. Oh, are we gonna see some cheese?
Let's see, sort of.
That's an early guess.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's just opening up very safer actually.
Gas pool and Serral is going for a hatch first.
Yeah. So
do you think he can put on some aggression?
I mean, he can go for a little bit of pressure, but it's nothing weird really. From my end, it just looks as if SortOf wants to play it safe. You know, make sure that in case Serral wanted to bust out some sort of crazy aggression, he wouldn't die out to that. Now, obviously, this does cut into your economy a little bit here, of course, because Serral is going to get the faster hatchery. But like you said, SortOf definitely has a little bit of room to perhaps see if he can find, you know, maybe shove off a drone or two for some extra lings. Anything like that really is very nice.
Looking at the pool timings as well, Serral is completely safe right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any opportunity here for SortOf to do any, like, pivotal damage. So, I mean, for now, it's just going to be a fairly slow start to this. We'll see if they decide to gravitate towards that bailing tech or if they're just going to skip it entirely. Because, I mean, sometimes nowadays in the Legacy of the Void, you will see some players opt in to go for a higher number of queens and then try to play for the wall off instead. You know, go for 2 or 3 evolution chambers, go straight up at roaches. But
the natural have, like, a really narrow pathway. So I think queens work really well on this map.
Yeah, you can see that there as the links pass by. By the way, could we get some in-game music here, guys?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
There we are. Oh, thank you, baby. There we are. I just want to say that I think the Starcraft music is like somewhat underrated.
Yeah. Do you prefer Brood War or Starcraft 2?
I knew this question was going to come. It's I actually really like the SC2 soundtrack. I think it's really nice.
Yeah, same here.
It's got especially that Terran riff.
Oh,
we're not getting it now, but like we'll probably have it later in the Lilicanin games. But anyway, for now, you can see both of these players very active with their Zerglings.
SortOf is actually building a lot of lings.
Oh yeah, how many is that? He's I think 4 more. So,
oh, he's gonna put on some pressure when speed finish, I think. Oh, now
yeah, okay, yeah, there we are, another Swellerlings.
And he has a Baneling nest actually.
Oh, this is actually really smart. So, what SortOf is going to be doing here essentially is he has one of two options, right? Either he just commits to this and makes a ton of lings, and the third base going up as well. He can use that for additional production, right? Because remember,
I think he attacks to protect his third as well.
Like, he can either do that, or he can just go like full pressure with this. I don't know if he's got the queen in the natural expansion, because then the third base would really help here with the macro. But now, evidently, with all of these lings coming up, Serral has to defend. You can see that he's now sending units across the map, but he just doesn't have speed just yet. It's now going to be finishing up. He has a couple of Banelings in position. This third base is very low, and if SortOf can target this down, that would be very nice. A good connection there for the first Baneling here from SortOf. And now already 2 of these Banes gone from Serral. SortOf already finding himself in a very good position. He's going to be able to shove off another Ling, or another Baneling.
It's all in splits right now. I wonder if he can do this, actually. I think it's really hard right now because he has gotten so much time to build units.
Oh, that was really close there for one moment.
Yeah.
But you can see that both of these players very low in the Baneling count. Nice control there again from SortOf, shaving off another Baneling. A little clumsy from Serral, actually, uncharacteristic of him, but this third base for now, it is safe.
A single good Baneling hit can determine this game right here.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We get another good cutoff there. There's more base coming in from both of these players, and actually SortOf needs to be little bit careful here to not let himself get cornered. Now he does end up killing every single Baneling here for Serral, as one is going to be morphing, or 2 are going to be morphing down on the third base.
Serral is actually started droning now as well.
Yeah, 7 more drones going down behind this. Evolution chambers being added in as well, so should see that potentially, I guess,
Carapace.
Either +1 Carapace. Actually, I think +1 Carapace now is a little bit late. It would make more sense for it to just be the +1 for the Roaches, as there is a Roach Warren coming down.
Yeah, probably.
But you can see SortOf now as well with the transition. Roach Warren on the way for him as well. He's getting a few defensive Banelings, but doesn't really have time to saturate this third base. And ooh, he's going to end up perhaps losing a queen. The Lings come on in, and Serral's going to commit to this and take the queen down. That's actually a really nice kill. Yeah, because this means that there are fewer injects right now here for SortOf.
Yeah, he's missing injects, he's missing creep tumors, all the energy.
Queensman are the lifeblood of Zug.
Yeah.
And Serral is even going to go ahead and get that scout.
Sees the Roach Warren as it finishes up. And they're both like droning right now. SortOf is building a lot. 11 drones in production.
Going straight to that lair as well. Fairly good timing for this, I think. We'll be able to get that glider reconstitution fairly quickly. Now, obviously, you can see that Serral is only making units.
And what do you think of this lair? I think it's reasonable time, but I don't. The thing is, Serral hasn't started his lair yet. Now it starts when I say it.
It's a little bit later.
But we have seen pressure as well this game. So
yeah, I mean this game is actually still very action packed because you see sort of tried to go for some more pressure additionally there. Didn't really find anything. But actually, Serral, like, I did say that he was making lots of units, but he just cut. He made a couple of safety drones. Oh, sorry, safety roaches, a handful of banelings as well, just to make sure he doesn't die to any big ling swells or anything like that coming across the map.
Serral's +1 attack finishes earlier than SortOf's. He can do something with that timing, actually.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Like, if you take a fight when you have +1 versus non-upgraded roaches, that can make all the difference. Nice control there, by the way, from SortOf. Not losing a single drone there to that little...
I think he lost one.
Did he? Did he lose a drone?
Unsure.
Oh, well. We'll,
it's not a big deal anyway.
Nah, it's not the end of the world. But Serral has a drone advantage anyway, 65 to 58.
That's kind of huge.
Yeah,
especially
really
in a mirror matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people don't talk about this enough, I feel. Like, how important just having, 5 extra drones can be. But you can see now that both players just going to be committing to unit production at this point in time. And SortOf actually has a pretty big advantage in the army supply. You can see it's about 20 supply up. And this could easily translate into a massive push coming out of his end. Now, evidently you can see that Serral very intelligently goes for the +2 attack. He's going to try to keep capitalizing on this. But if SortOf can strike right as they're at equal upgrades with a higher army supply, that would be probably the best moment for him to go, I think. Try to get something done, because you can see Serral taking a 4th base already. And as we all know, going up, against Serral in the later stages of ZBZ, really scary, because this guy, like we've already established, just such a mastermind in this matchup.
Oh, do you see that Serral has started an infestation pit?
Oh,
is he gonna go for an early hive?
Oh, I think no, it should be the infestors. I think like going for an early hive at this point would be way too early, and you just die to the roach push of SortOf, because it's actually coming across the map right now.
He has some ravagers, and ravagers and infestors are a really good combo.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what he's trying to sort of go towards, but you can see now that because he identifies that SortOf is coming across the map, only roaches in production. He doesn't have time to get the infestors out. Yeah. And this is really good right now for the Swedish Zerg, because they are on equal upgrades. Now, this is scary, though, because he's splitting up his army, and even though he is going to end up losing this 4th hatchery, it is going to be a cancel, and this still means that they are going to be on equal bases.
They're on equal supply right now, but Serral has more in production.
Defender's advantage is a big thing here right now. Needs to dodge these corrosive vials, and there are more units right now here for Serral. SortOf, I don't know if this is a fight he can take. He's losing on both fronts, and Serral takes the supply advantage as the Swedish Zerg is going to be forced to hightail it out of there. That is definitely a travesty right now here for SortOf, because
and he corners the army.
Yeah, oh my god, he could actually shave off half of this army for SortOf. That's such a big catch. A lot of these roaches are going to go down.
And now he's going to be on the offensive foot.
I guess he could go and pressure this 3rd base.
He's going for a spire behind this as well.
No, this is a great transition, because now with this superior army, he can keep pressuring SortOf, so he cannot really do anything about the tech coming out here.
And this is actually a really big fight.
Concave favoring the Finnish Zerg.
Yeah.
And
he has full drones. That's really bad.
Yeah, never a good sign here. And that's going to be a GG. As SortOf taps out of game number 1, and Serral is going to take the first one there very convincingly. There was just one moment where I was a little bit worried there for Serral. But then SortOf split up his army, and like I've seen this happen several times, especially on this map like Ascension to Aya and on Odyssey. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's much better to just strike with your like biological battering ram of roaches all together, like concentrated. Because otherwise defender's advantage becomes such a lot more impactful. Like when you've got units rally from the natural and the 3rd hatchery coming out to reinforce the strike group to the north.
At least at that moment in the game. Later in the game you can split it up.
Yeah, exactly. If you have like full supply and you're like equal in bases, but he was down a base. So killing the base is nice, but then you're still equal in economy, and the defender's advantage is still there for Serral.
And I actually think the cornering finished off him.
Yeah, that was definitely like a nail in the coffin to make sure that he stays dead. And
I think he got like 10 roaches.
Yeah, that was kind of it. I think that was like the moment that he decided to split his units like that. I think it was not necessarily over, but he put himself in a very tough position to recover from. So that's game number 1, guys. Very convincing victory there for Serral to start things off in this best of 3 series, because it is best of 3 all the way here tonight.
Well, I don't really like CVC, but I think that was a really good match.
Because when you say you don't like ZVZ, I assume you don't mean you don't like playing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think we can all relate to that one. Like, I play a lot of random. ZVZ is definitely the matchup that I dislike the most.
Understandable.
But I think it's so sick to watch.
Bling wars are really hard.
Yeah, they're really tough. And like Roach mid-game wars as well can also be really difficult. Sometimes you'll see like when both players decide to go for Spires. It's all over the place. Kind of
and as a macro player, I don't really like there's a lot of early aggression in it.
Yeah, like that you can die to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Like, I'm a macro Protoss. People just says, no, Tenchi, bullshit. There's no such thing as macro Protoss. Because
I'm agreeing.
No, man, but I feel you on that one. So, yeah, we'll see where the next one is going to go, guys. Not sure which map that's going to be on.
No.
But, yeah, so... Because we've...
Does the loser choose, or...?
No. It's, like, all predetermined, because they're going to... It's, like, ban, pick, ban.
Okay.
And then they go for the last remaining map as game number 3. But here we are, guys. Look at this coming in on Abyssal Reef. So why don't you go ahead and introduce our players, William?
Oh, well, in the top left corner we have the red Zerg, SortOf. And in the bottom right we have the blue Zerg, Serral. Well, Serral won the last game, so I wonder if he can do the same this game.
I mean, Abyssal Reef to me is...
Really balanced map.
Yeah, it's a solid one. It's probably one of the most played maps we have in this current map pool. Now, obviously, there are a few things to sort of keep in mind, is that you have basically 2 points of entry in towards your natural expansion, if you look at the ramp leading up there.
Yeah. 2 very, very narrow.
Yeah, exactly. Bit of a distinction here in the builds again. You can see SortOf this time going to be the one going for the hatchery first. Whereas Serral goes into a pool gas, and then he's going to get a hatchery of his own. So again, like a very safe opening here from Serral.
But it's a lot later gas, so it doesn't cut that much economy this time. The hatchery is a lot earlier, in other words.
Right, just playing safe.
Yeah, that's a really safe opening. When you go for pool first, you also get an early queen, which can help you with the injects.
Yeah, it's true. 6-lings on the way now for Serral.
Yeah, that's actually been really common that people in CVC start with 6-lings instead of 2 or 4.
Yeah, 6-lings because with that you can gun down a queen, like if you get this around. And like you say, like you generally see 4-lings at the start, so 6 beats 4. You know, if there's something I learned watching like Swedish television when I grew up, 5 myror är fler än 4 elefanter. But
I remember that when I was little.
Solid, man. With the support of Anton, though, as you can see there, the man with the grin and the shades, can he do it? Sort of now. 2 queens on the way. Very quick +1 attack for his roaches.
Is he gonna do some kind of rush? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is actually really unorthodox. Such a rapid +1, even before speed.
Oh.
And
his first 100 gas went.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't have gas. Now he has gas for a baneling nest, but he's going to go straight up towards roaches. So yeah, man, he's going to go for a +1 roach rush. Now, obviously, this is going to be a little bit scary because you can see now that 6-lings, like we pointed out, can beat a queen. But this is some great positioning coming out here from SortOf to make sure that the queen minimizes surface area.
I think the queen can beat it.
I don't know, man. It's looking close. The queen might go down.
Oh, that's really huge. That's really huge.
Yeah, drones being pulled off the lines as well. There was a single drone falling.
But considering he went for roaches, roaches don't require as much larva.
That's true. They are a little bit more larva efficient, but the danger now is going to be the lack of mobility here, because SortOf, obviously, without glial reconstitution, is going to be able to have a very tanky army, but it's going to be a very slow army. So if Serral makes a huge number of lings here, he can pin back the roaches effectively, because the moment that SortOf moves out, then the speedlings can just run in there, sort of ravaging the economy. So he needs to be very careful about how he does this. And obviously with the overlords, Serral is always going to know when SortOf moves out.
One thing to point out, if everyone watching the stream didn't know, if a roach has +1 attack, it 2-shots Zerglings.
Yes. The interaction between the units, that's a really important thing to point out there, William, actually.
Yeah, because roaches become so efficient against Zerglings when they have 1.
Yeah,
attack.
But now you can see the roaches have been revealed. Barn goes down, and you can see a link counterattack on the left-hand side from Serral, already set up, moving out. Very small counterattack, but
Serral is building a wall.
Can
SortOf is building a wall, I think.
No.
Oh, no, he isn't.
No, I mean, Okay, but right now the Lings are in the natural of SortOf. How much damage are they getting done right now? As the roaches move up this ramp, the spine crawlers aren't done, but there are so many Lings that the positioning here is actually very important. Yeah, he cannot take the fight in the range of those spine crawlers. 4 drones going down here, might end up losing even more. 5 drones going down here for SortOf. Serral has a slight advantage in the worker count, but now with +1 finished, this is actually going to give SortOf a little bit of time in this game, but 7 roaches are on the way right now, and that is going to make things a lot harder.
droning.
If you can just kill this third base and equalize the base count here between both of these players, that's going to be a really good move for him. But I don't know if he's going to have that luxury of time, because all the queens are coming over. There's a bunch of transfuse energy as well, as the Lings are coming back. Well. Yeah, this is... yeah, I think that sort of missed his opportunity to actually take down this third base.
Yeah. Serral went for a really good response with 2 spine crawlers. 2 spine crawlers was not too much, but it was the perfect amount, I think.
Yeah, so easy to sometimes have people over a commit there. And no, Serral, of course, showcasing his experience. Now, straight off of the back of this SortOf is going to go for a transition. You can see that he's rushed up to, I believe that he's on 3 gases right now as he goes for a lair. So, could very easily, if he wants to...
very late third, though.
Yeah, that's an issue, but I think that at this point, like, he could, if he wants to, go into spy attack, but it would be a little bit of a desperate transition, because he'll just die to the roaches on the ground, and from Serral, third base gets cancelled. Yeah, this is looking very rough. Another Ling run by heading into the main base.
He's gonna get the queen. No, really good positioning on the queen, once again.
Yeah, but the problem here, William, is that he's losing drones in mining time.
Yeah, drones are important.
You can see, even though they are equal, Serral with the third base still standing. He's now got the roaches. Gonna get a +1 of his own. Even shutting down some of these overlords on the middle of the map here for SortOf. Serral just looks impenetrable.
That's a lot later +1 for Serral than SortOf. But SortOf hasn't started his +2 yet. Now it starts. So he's gonna have an upgrade lead, but is it really worth it for being behind that much on the
it's like the one thing he could do to maybe come back into this right now, because he's behind in every single department except the upgrade, so he has to capitalize and hinge on something, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I still think that it's going to be a really rough recovery here for the Swedish Zerg, because all things considered, he's going to be down in economy. Serral now to 53 workers, as you can see, as he is going to get his own land. Once he's going to go for a Glial Reconstitution, and once that finishes up, like, I think that's when Serral is going to try to, perhaps not necessarily to go for the kill move itself, but he could easily go and stop pressuring that third base.
And he can always run away, since Serral doesn't have roach speed. If he feels like he's losing.
That's actually a really good point there, William. The combo of Glial Reconstitution and +2 attack. Now, they're not going to link up, actually, in terms of timing, but he could definitely make use of Glial Reconstitution and roach speed here. See if he can find something done, because he needs to, whatever he can get, basically, is what it's all about right now. Another queen is going to end up falling. Very unfortunate loss here, yet again, here for SortOf.
He's losing too many queens this game.
Yeah, so like 3 or 4 queens already dead in this game.
And he's losing injects by that. And like you said last game, inject is like the lifeblood for Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, he's falling behind in terms of army, he's falling behind in terms of economy. Full scout, essentially, right there for Serral, who's up in supply yet again.
Nothing surprising, though.
Just, can I check? You can hear me, right? You can still hear me? Yeah, okay. Because there's something with my sound. There's something with the cable, so sometimes it just...
Does it cut out for you?
A little bit, yeah. Like on the right side. But it's no biggie. We can still do this.
Yeah.
Now, anyway, like, you can see the roach numbers here. As Serral has a very stable economy, he's only churning out units at this point in time. Oh, I can feel it. We're getting closer. It's working out right now, guys. The sound is getting a little bit better. We'll take a look. We'll take a look into that at a later point.
Yeah,
right now, because this is actually a very tense moment. This is going to be very important. He breaks down the rocks now to open up another avenue of attack. And remember, the creep here obviously going to mean that he can leapfrog a little bit. And this is what it's about right now, William.
The concave.
The +2 attack is going to be everything that SortOf has to rely on. But I don't know if he has the numbers game. Just so many units here for Serral.
There's so many roaches. Look at the army supply. That's crazy.
I mean, they're dead even, but you have to consider that there's so much tied up in the production, and with the defender's advantage as well, SortOf is just going to get crushed as a counterattack heads into the third base as well to start hurting his economy. And Serral is just going to walk all over SortOf. GG gets called. And Serral with a committing 2-0 victory in this best out of 3 series, guys. Very quick, very decisive. But, you know, that, again, testament to how good Serral is in CBC.
Like we said earlier, we think Serral is one of the best, if not the best, foreign Protoss. Foreign Zerg.
Yes, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah. We actually saw that VCS Jönköping as well. He had a 6 CVC in the semifinals when he 3-0'd
Elaza, yeah.
Yeah, Elaza.
And Elaza, another guy who's like really good in ZBZ as well. He beat, he also beat, I think that was in like Ladder Heroes. He beat Nurcho.
And Nurcho is also one of the
Nurcho
best
also is like
Zergs.
a really good Zerg. So he took down a lot of some of the very best Zerg players we have in Europe, like on his way into those finals. So and I mean, I feel as if he's still sort of riding that wave, you know. But he's definitely really up and coming, like absolutely massive name right now, making such huge waves in the international scene. So I have really high hopes for him. Sadly, that means that SortOf drops his first series in this round robin stage, but he's not out. It's you know, round robin. Like I said, everyone's going to face off against everyone. So he still has more chances to hang in there, guys. And
like SortOf is kind of a big name as well.
yeah, no, absolutely. SortOf is, I would say that it's on rotation between him, Sandster, and Namshov for like the best play in Sweden, as those guys sort of go up and down all the time now. SortOf has, I believe, yeah, it's always been like SortOf and Zanster in eSport SM who faced off against in the finals. They've had like 3 or 4 finals together. So a lot of history there. Now Sandster isn't actually playing in the Nordic Championship, guys, because he, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't remember.
I think he was busy with something.
Was he busy?
right?
Like, I'm not sure. Maybe he. Oh yeah, I think he like overslept. Because
Really?
so Anton is, he goes hard, man. Okay, Anton has no chill. He goes really hard, and he's very passionate about going hard
At the parties or
in life. William.
in life?
Okay.
You need to go hard in life. if you
Sandster,
want to get somewhere.
Sandster's the man. But yeah, guys, we're gonna take a look at a couple of the moments in these games. Want to bring that up, as you can see.
The
So
defenders
this moment right now is basically when SortOf had to go. He had the advantage with the upgrades, but you can see Serral is just such a massive army. He's got the Concave and the Queens helping out as well. He had transfusions available to him, and you can see Roaches coming out there from that third base hatchery in the middle of the fight, reinforcing. Whereas if we look at the distance of the map, just takes so much time here.
And Serral was counterattacking with a few roaches. I actually missed that when we were watching.
Yeah, no, it's like just the small things, you know, the intricacies as to what he does. It just makes him so damn good.
Yeah.
So it's so sick actually. Like I'm really excited to like whenever Serral is playing.
I think he can get far in this tournament.
Yeah, like for me, right off the bat, just looking at the current standing of things, because there are so many Zergs, he's definitely one of the guys that I'm putting like favorite to win the entire thing. Like I know I'm saying it on day one, but just judging by his form, you know, in Zerg versus Zerg, he's like absolutely a beast.
He's smashing people.
And even in all the other
2-0
matchups
versus SortOf, 3-0 versus a laser.
yeah, and even in the other matchups as well. You know, what was that 4-2 versus Neeb?
Yeah. I think we have 3 Terrans and 1 Protoss, right?
Yeah, that's true. And then everything else is Zerg.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is Serral's gonna have himself a field day.
So, how about the interviews? Are we getting one?
I don't think we're gonna have one with this with Serral for now. Okay. So we're gonna try to get guys like for winners interview, by the way. But sometimes that's not always possible.
No.
I don't know the living conditions of Serral, but I mean, living in Finland, out in the woods, moose everywhere, it's a rough life. But at least he's a legend.
Went to the sauna every day.
I actually like all of the Finnish players I've talked to and that I've met. I always ask them like, so can I just have to like clarify, like, do you actually like the sauna? That like, is that actually like a big thing?
Is it?
I don't know. Like some Finns say yes, some Finns say no.
Okay.
I think it's like it
because
varies.
I'm really curious about that. I'm gonna ask so many Finnish people when we go there for
yeah,
the finals.
guys. Of course, the finals are going to be at Assembly in Helsinki. That's going to be sick as hell. The 5th of August. We're really looking forward to that one. But we're starting on the first stepping stone leading up to those finals. We're going to throw it over to guys to a quick break before we come back for the next series. It is going to be Snoot versus Lillekanin for that classic Nordic Championship rematch. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.